Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we're going to talk about the reason or possibly the reasons why the Democratic Party lost a lot of support in the urban areas, okay? That's the main. I'm going to talk about possible factors. I'm going to start in 2012, the last year the Democrats got a huge win in terms of the popular vote. In terms of Obama won by 3 million votes against Mitt Romney. It was an impressive win by Obama, last Obama election, and now, because it's the last pre-Trump era election, and we're going to see the change until 2024, we suppose will be the last Trump election as well. So we're going to start in 2012 in a very important state, at least so far, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're gonna start off Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the biggest city in Pennsylvania. It's the biggest vote center in terms of the county as well. The Philadelphia County is Philadelphia City. Okay, it's the same thing. So Obama won by 71 points. That's a huge win. And now Trump lost, or Kamala won by 59 points. 69. Sorry, 69. Sorry, I was just it's 59 points. To 71. This is an impressive. This is an impressive difference. Okay, and what is the point of this difference? That's the point. Look, Kamala got 568,000 votes. Obama got 557,000. So, actually, this was only 11,000 votes gain in terms of Kamala Harris. You know that Pennsylvania is losing voters. At least he's not gaining population in the same rate as the other states are doing, because Pennsylvania is losing electoral votes, and Philadelphia is a city that has a pressure in terms of not getting new voters. I think they're actually losing population, or at least not increasing. Okay, and okay, we can see that Kamala now has a small, doesn't have a huge improvement because of that, but Trump had an improvement. The Republicans had an improvement from 91,000 to 144,000. That's 50,000 votes that they found in about 12 years. The main point here is, why does this happen? Why the urban America is shifting from the Democrats to the Republican Party? Or at least not shifting, because you see Kamala won by a huge margin. That is true. However, it's nothing compared, or at least it's an underperformance if you compare to Obama in 2012. Okay, you can say something. Obama was a very great president and had huge approval ratings. That's why he got that result, and Kamala got this one. That is true. However, in 2012, Obama was not the most likable person. Okay, he was not in the best point of his mandate. And his win against Mitt Romney was actually a surprise for many people. That's why I want to say something about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is changing. People is going from red states to Philadelphia, to Pennsylvania, to competitive states, and probably we're seeing more Republican flows than rather than Democratic ones. Because if you go, for example, to Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, this is a 21 points difference, and Obama won only by 14. So, because Allegheny County is Pittsburgh and the suburbs are shifting to the Democratic Party, okay? For example, I want to go Montgomery County, for example. This is the suburbs just to the, I would say, to the east, to the northeast of Philadelphia. So Montgomery County was Obama plus 14, and now it was Kamala plus 23. So this is a difference. The Democrats are doing better in the close-in suburbs, but the Republicans are doing better in urban areas. Okay, you go, for example, to Lehigh County. Lehigh County is Allentown. Okay, it's a huge percentage of Latinos. This is another reason. Okay, many cities are turning to be Republican because of the Latino population there. Okay, because the Latino population in the U.S. is shifting to the right, at least in the previous years. Okay. You saw that in Florida, you saw that in Nevada, you saw that in some counties of Arizona, and also in those key cities and key counties that has a huge percentage of those. Lehigh County, Allentown, is the biggest city in terms of percentage-wise of Latino voters in Pennsylvania. Okay, Kamala won by 3, Obama won by 8. That is a huge difference. Okay, because this is a very competitive county. Look at the turnout, 77,000 for Obama actually 96,000 for Kamala. So actually we saw an increase of population in Allentown. Another key point about urban America. We cannot talk about Latinos without mentioning the state of Florida, a state that went for Obama in 2012. It voted for Obama by about a point, not even a point, I think. We can check just for curiosity. It was 0.9. I said not even a point. So this voted for Obama by 0.9%, and now 12 years later, it voted for Trump by 13%. And it's not a difference in Jacksonville. For example, Duval County voted for 2% for Trump. It voted for 4% for Romney. So it's not in the suburbs. The Democrats are doing better, again, as they did in Pennsylvania. The problem is here. Miami-Dade County is in Palm Beach County, in Orange County, in Pinellas, in Hillsborough. All of those counties have a huge percentage of Latino population. We can even check the biggest one. The biggest one is here, is Osceola County. It's the biggest county in terms of percentage of Latino population. I think in the United States, actually. In Florida it is, so probably in the United States as well. Apart from Nevada, I don't know, to be honest. But voted for Trump by about 2 points. Not even 2 points, 1.5. And he voted for Obama by 25 points. 25 to 2 points Republican. So there's actually 27 points shift in 12 years. This is impressive, and this is a trend. So we can actually argue that cities are more Republican right now because of Latinos. Huge immigration into the U.S. in the last years now are trending to be more Republican. Probably the Democrats thought otherwise, but now we're actually seeing the results, and those Latinos are voting Republican. And another factor, probably we're seeing Democrats flowing out of the cities as well. Many Democrats, for example, if you consider Philadelphia, they're probably flowing out to suburban areas because they don't find it great to live there. I don't know. I'm just creating a thesis, an hypothesis. Okay, and then if you go, for example, to New York, and New York it's a great example. You see, this is the 5 boroughs of New York. We're gonna look at the Bronx. Okay. Look at this. Trump got 27% in the Bronx. You think, okay, that's a huge defeat. It is. But look at here. Look at 2012 and look at Obama here. Romney got 8%. So from 8 to 27, that's a 40 points difference, almost. Okay, 38 if you want to be more precise about that. So this is 8 percentage points for Romney, 26,000, and now Trump got 98,000. Look at the turnout, 261. 288. So actually, Kamala lost voters in New York. Why? Working class people, especially in the Bronx, because the Bronx is the home of working class people in the city of New York. If they are not voting Democratic, at least in the same proportion that they did in the past. And that's a very particular issue for the Democrats. Because if not, they're getting the percentages with the working people. And I need to give a fair shot to Bernie Sanders here because he's saying that the Democratic Party is turning to be the party of elites and not the party of working people. And even though I don't agree with most, like 99% of the things Bernie Sanders say, I must agree with this point. At least this is what the demographics and what the voters show in the polls. I don't care about your fantastic pollsters and wherever. I care about results, and this is the biggest borough in terms of working class people, and they're not getting this. Another reason why Democrats are doing worse in urban areas is because Trump has becoming a more, I would say, not so controversial figure. Okay, I know half of the country doesn't like Trump, another half likes him and loves him and will do anything for him, but I don't mean in that way. I mean minorities, especially minorities, black voters, I would say like LGBTQ voters, those are voting more Trump. I don't know the reason, nobody knows, but they're voting more Trump. At least they're feeling more correspondent or something. So look at this. Queens is the multicultural place in New York City. Each borough has its own story, but Queens has its own story about being multicultural. Look at this. Trump got 38%. Look at Mitt Romney here, 20%. That's a 36 points difference. Also the turnout, 399,437. Yeah, that's an increase of about 40,000 votes. But look at this, 264 to 100 and 63. So that's a huge difference for Trump, or at least for the Republican Party in Queens. And this is the point. Queens and the Bronx has two very interesting characteristics. One is the working class, and one is multicultural, and that's impressive as well. Now we move to Los Angeles, or even I will go to Hawaii just for a minute because I want to check something. Nobody speaks about Hawaii. That is true. Sorry for the state of Hawaii, but look at this. Honolulu County is where the capital of Hawaii is. Kamala got 60, and Obama got 69. Now we're gonna say, you're probably gonna say, oh, but that is because Obama was born in Hawaii, and that is the reason why he did much better there. Probably, but if you go here, for example, 75 in Hawaii County, and here was 63. It's actually seeing more difference in terms of percentage in these very rural at least Hawaii counties. What is the reason? Hispanic voters? I don't know. We'll see. And I just want to finish, at least with Los Angeles first, and then I will move to Nevada and then Arizona, and then we're going to finish this. Look at Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County is the biggest county in the U.S. by far. Okay, Kamala won by 33. It's a big win. I mean, the urban areas are still very democratic, but they are shrinking in terms of percentage-wise. Los Angeles 65 for Kamala. You mean for how much for Obama? 69. It's only an 8 percentage points difference. It is only an 8 percentage points difference, but this is Los Angeles, a huge county. So in terms of numbers, this actually means a lot. And now I'll move to Nevada. Nevada is a state that was blue by a lot, and then it started to shift Republican. Like Obama won by 7, and that is huge. And now Trump won by 4. So that's an 11-point shift in 12 years in a state. This is not a county. Now I'll move to, for example, Clark County. Clark County is Las Vegas, okay? Because Trump is not doing better in Washoe County. Than Obama, of course, he is. But if you consider he's run against Hillary Clinton in 2016, Trump lost by 1.3, and now he lost by 1. So actually, he's not doing much better in Washoe County, which is a key suburban area, which is also the suburbs. Again, not so great for Trump, or terrible for Trump, because Trump is not a very popular figure inside the suburbs. And then I'll move to Las Vegas. Clark County, huge Hispanic population. Clark County there. Trump lost by 2. Obama won by 15. That is where the difference is in the state of Nevada. I don't need even to talk about. You also have a housing problem in Clark County, Las Vegas, especially a lot of job market problem as well, because after the pandemic, casinos and all of that stuff take a lot of time to reopen. So this is a very complicated place to start, but we'll see in probably the next video as well. Now we can move, for example, I don't know. Let's go to Apache County or Yuma County. Yuma County is better to see this. Yuma County is a county just across the border with Mexico. Probably can you can say it again. The border problems. This is not a urban county. No, it is not. But I just want to emphasize the point that this is probably explains the reason why Hispanic voters are voting more Trump. Even people who are in the U.S., they are immigrants, but they're voting for Trump because they don't want other immigrants to come. That is something that is like inconceivable for many people to think, but that is true in some ways. Yuma County, Trump won by 21, and here Romney won by 12. So that's actually an improvement, but Trump won by only 1 in 2016. So 1 to 21. 20 points in only 8 years. The point I'm making here is very simple. Urban America is not being the same. You can go, I'm not going to go to Illinois because actually you can go to Chicago, just for example, 70-28. And here it was, 74-24. Not actually a big difference, but Obama was senator from Illinois, so you suspect. I just want to end the video with Michigan. Look at this. Detroit, which is Wayne County, it voted for Kamala by 29 points. This terrible margin. Why? Because it voted for Obama by around, I would say 47 points. So 47 to 26, that's the difference, 29. That's almost 20 points differential there. And what's most interesting about this, look at the turnout, 595,000 to 537,000. 60,000 votes lost in Detroit. That's also a problem of black voters turnout. You probably say about that, but Kamala was also black. So Obama and Kamala had the same advantages in terms of their ethics and their race. So Probably we cannot judge by that, but we can say something. As I said in the start of the video, black voters are voting more Trump, LGBTQ voters are voting more Trump. We're seeing more diversity into the Republican Party. Is that great? Is that bad for the future? We don't know. We'll see. We need to see in the future as well. So I'm gonna end the video right now. I tried to be slower in this video. I don't know if you guys liked it more. And don't forget to tune in. I'm gonna remember you again. 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time, November 4th, for the full coverage of California Proposition 50, New Jersey and Virginia gubernatorial races. Also, don't forget about the impressive and probably Mandani victory in New York City mayoral election. So don't forget to subscribe and leave your like, and we'll see you in the next. Thank you.